Hello, everyone. You know who it is. I hope everybody is gearing up for some delicious Thanksgiving dinner. I know that we can't be together as much as we like this year. So, to cheer you up, I'm going to give you guys a recipe just in time for Thanksgiving, and that is homemade cranberry sauce. Bam. If you know me, and if you don't know me, you'll know that if you put 3 cans of canned cranberry sauce in front of my face, I will demolish all 3 cans in one day. That's me being conservative. If I'm being radical, I'm sure I will be able to eat 3 cans in one sitting. I just love cranberries. I love cranberry juice, cranberries, dried cranberries, cranberry soda, Sprite cranberry, anything with cranberry, I'll eat it, I'll drink it, I'll ingest it, digest it, whatever. So, to get started, you're going to need 12 ounces of cranberries, a pound, not frozen, fresh cranberries. And since I'm going to add quite a bit of spice in this video, it's not going to be a hot spice, but just a nice warm spice since it is fall and we want to make things interesting. I'm going to add in some cinnamon, ginger, more cinnamon. I need to get rid of this, so I'm trying to not waste. Agave and honey. I'm using 2 types of sweeteners because I'm going to use the rest of this so I can get rid of it. And agave, I can never pronounce this right, doesn't cover up the flavor of the cranberries as much as the honey. So I think I'm gonna be using more agave than honey. But because these are very tart, I'm gonna have to use a lot of sweetener. So to get started, grab a knife. Open these babies up. And just going to drop them into a large pan, like so. Spread these out. And then you're going to need 1 cup of water, cold water. Just pour it all around. And I'm just going to stir these around. There's really no rhyme or reason why I do this. It's just pleasing. This is so beautiful. And then I'm going to put them into a flat layer as best as I can. And you're going to bring this to a boil. So your water should not already be boiling. You're bringing it to a boil and we're going to simmer it. And now we wait. Okay, so my cranberries are almost to the boiling point. And what we're doing, we're actually going to cook these until they burst. It'll be better if I zoom in. If you can see right around here how this split open, that's what I mean when they burst. You want to be seeing that. They're not going to all burst evenly, but you do want them to be nice and soft. And another indicator that your sauce is starting to cook is if the water starts to turn a reddish color. Right over there. So these have started to boil, which is great. They're starting to burst. There's a lot more color in the water now. And I think this is a good point where I would add in my flavors. But first, let's turn this down to a simmer. Okay, there I go. And this is all to taste. So here is my cinnamon. I'm going to use this whole thing. Next is my ginger. Yeah, my berries are already softening up. And look how red this juice is. I'm going to add just a little bit more ginger. And I'm going to add in my sweeteners. Go. That would be it. And I'm going to start off with my agave. And don't be afraid to use a lot because cranberries are very tart. And I'm going to give this some more. I already used most of the bottle anyway, so I'm just going to use the rest of it. And this bottle is almost 12 ounces, and I used the last third, so a third of 12 would be about 4 ounces. Boy, am I good at math. That's the benefit of being an engineer without actually being or having been in an engineer job. At least you're really good at math. Just a little bit of honey to taste. I don't know exactly how much I'm adding in. Just a small drizzle, and I'm going to stop it right there. I don't want the flavor to be too strong, and we can always season everything when it's nice and done, you know? Let this simmer until the sauce thickens up, which will be a while. I would say let this simmer for at least, I would say about between 20 and 30 minutes. You don't want a liquidy sauce. But the benefit of putting in the sugar is that it helps the sauce thicken up due to, you know, chemical reactions, crystallization, blah, 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 chemistry. Started this channel as a way for me to de-stress, to enjoy a hobby of mine, and to just have fun. And at the same time, I thought that would be a good way to get whatever I have on my mind out there. And of course, because you guys are probably tired of seeing the same montages and transitions or whatever, I'm going to do something different. And I think this will be a good change of pace for this channel. So my very, very first story, I wish it would be more positive, but it's something that's been bothering me since yesterday, since it did happen yesterday. And that is one of the job interviews that I went on to, which I've been, as hence my name, struggling to get. I've had smaller jobs in the past year, but nothing that was too stable, so I just don't consider myself the, let's say, fully employed chef. To start this story off, it was Friday morning, which was yesterday. I woke up, I was checking my email, and I saw that one of the jobs that I applied for 1 or 2 days ago asked for an interview. So, of course, I was excited, or better yet said, relieved. I responded to the email, and they said that it would be able to do 11 a.m. Friday morning. So, of course, I wasn't prepared at all. It was on short notice, so I had to rush to get my hair done, the whole nine. And I asked if I could push back the time to a later time in the day. So the time actually ended up being changed 2 times. And the final time was 1:30 p.m. I got there on time. I sit down, and one of my biggest peeves when it comes to the job search and job interviews is the fact that they make you sit down and fill out another job app. We have technology. Why aren't you bothered to just print out the application? None of the information that I'll tell you in the interview is going to be different from what I put on the application. Another 15 minutes. I'm already kind of frustrated because I have to fill out another application. I had to give them my social security number, which I didn't, my driver's license. Why am I giving you all this information? I'm not going to give you that information unless you say, hey, Miss Chef, I will hire you. Let's sign the offer paperwork right now. Interviewer comes out and says, you know, I'm pressed for time. Are you done or almost done with the application? Of course, I wasn't done. I said, I'm almost done. They said, you could just come on in, don't bother filling out the rest of the application. I go into the interview, and that's when things go downhill. First question that comes out her mouth was, why do I want to work there? It was an electronics recycling warehouse. If you looked at my resume, you would see that I have a lot of electronics experience. So why would she ask me the question, why am I interested to work there? You are marketing to people who have an interest in electronics. I like taking computers apart. I like working on electronics. I like doing my own creative electronics projects. So I didn't say all that to her, but I just said, hey, I have an interest in electronics. My degree has a strong electronics background. She says, okay, well, what is your wage requirement? Again, going off the fact that I have a degree and I do have actual hands-on experience with electronics from my courses at school, my own electronics projects, and I also have a little side hustle that I do where I help out my neighbor's tutoring business with their technology. So I go in, I troubleshoot the technology, I try to diagnose the problems, and I actually fix things when I can. So yes, I do have hands-on experience. That wasn't good enough for them, because even though I said all of that, they only offered me, out of the $12 to $17 range that they had on Indeed, it was advertised that way on Indeed. We'll give you $12.50 an hour. That was an insult to me. You're not required to have a degree or advanced electronics experience. The interviewer says, well, we're kind of out of our pay range. How am I out of the range of $17 an hour when it says online that is $12 to $17 an hour? Did you pass 5th grade math? So that was another issue that I saw, but I try to be positive, stay positive. I went on with the interview. They gave me a tour around the warehouse. So I thought that's when things were looking up, because I got to see what they were doing. I started to like it a little bit more, even though that they couldn't match my expectations, or they didn't want to put in the time to actually listen to what types of experience. The tour in the warehouse was okay until one point. She was asking me if I was interested in this. Am I interested in taking all types of electronics? And when I say all types, this is 110% true. She pointed me over to a pile of adult toys. She made sure to mention, we will give you personal PPE, which is personal protective equipment. Of course, when she said that, I'm not interested in touching people's fun toys. I'm not. I don't think you get paid enough. I know why this wasn't obviously advertised on Indeed, but I just try to be nice, and I said, of course, I'm interested. I would work with all electronics. I'm only saying that because I don't have any other jobs lined up, and I'm just gonna, if you give me an offer, I'm just gonna say yes, hold on to that offer until something comes through. That's just how it is. Use a company. Don't be loyal to any company. We move on. There's more tours, more information said. She asked me what's my availability. Now, this was not advertised on Indeed. Maybe if she paid attention to what was said on Indeed, we wouldn't have this problem. She says availability is only Monday through Thursday. After I said that I can't work Mondays and Wednesdays for personal reasons, she got annoyed by that. And said, well, this is a full-time job. Okay, is your full-time considered to be 30 hours, 40 hours, 35 hours? Not every job is the same. Now, at the very end, everything said and done, I'm already having second thoughts about this thing. And then she goes on to say, well, she didn't even have to mention period. I tried contacting you multiple times. I tried to contact you multiple times too. You decided to only email me to contact me. I gave you my phone number on Indeed. You could have just called me. I made it a point to call you twice before the interview to reschedule, an hour before the interview, and you never bothered calling back. She says, your You didn't match with the wage requirements. You didn't match with the availability. I just don't know what's up with you. You know, I gave you all my time, and right then and there, I said, "Wow, you are being incredibly rude right now." Because you were in a rush doesn't mean that I should have been rushed along. Why are you making me feel like I'm burdening your time when I'm also burdening my time with you, wasting my time at this place because you wanted to twist it back onto me and try to blame me for your faults. First of all, you didn't advertise honestly with the adult toys. You didn't advertise honestly because I'm going to the far end of the pay range with my verifiable experience, which you didn't bother honoring because apparently maybe you don't want to pay me that much. So if you don't want to pay somebody that much, don't bother advertising that. And furthermore, which I did say to her, I told her, you know, just like you gave me your time, I gave you my time. And I was out the door so quick. So that's my rant. That's my story time. I hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it. But all I got to say is don't be loyal to any company. Use a company as they use you. That's just how it is. So this is what my sauce looks like. I took the time out to burst the berries themselves with my spatula. This has been cooling down for about the last 10 minutes or so, and this is the consistency that you would like. And if you see other berries that haven't been popped fully yet, just take your spatula or masher and just press down and they will pop easily. And what I'm going to do is put this in the fridge and just let it chill even further. I like to eat my cranberry sauce cold, and I'm going to let this sit in the fridge for the next 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Or you could just leave it out at room temperature and eat it right away. It's very hard keeping myself from eating this right away. So I'm going to put it in the fridge for its own and my own protection. Say hi, Teddy. I just can't wait to just dig into this. Oh my goodness, this is so good. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and complain. This is your unemployed chef. And always chase that yum.